Chrystia Freeland's bodyguards are getting sued, and boy, does the sound of this lawsuit come across as nothing short of glorious. Let's get into it.
Oh, yeah!
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to The Fringe. Chrystia Freeland has often stepped over the line when it comes to her job as a supposed deputy prime minister. I often question the policies that she comes forward with. We've talked a lot on the channel about her $6,000 a month expenses for grooming, where yet it's to be decided what that constitutes as, but apparently it's for getting her hair cut, going to luxury day spas, and also going to the gym and having a personal trainer. If you've looked at Chrystia Freeland, especially from the waist down anytime soon, you can tell, and again, I'm not one to judge, but she clearly has not been to a gym or with a personal trainer. If I was spending upwards of $6,000 a month on a personal trainer, I can tell you one thing, folks, I would look significantly better than I do right now. But let's get into what we're here to talk about today. And that's that if you recall back when David Menzies attempted to scrum Chrystia Freeland during I guess you could call it like a meet/press conference about 2 months ago. We covered it here on the channel to great extent. And of course, David Menzies was falsely accused of assaulting Rcmp officers in order to drive up being arrested, trumped up charges in order to haul him away from Chrystia Freeland. Now, we've all looked at the video a million times over, and we've all seen what took place. But just if you need a refresher, down here is the play-by-play again. David Menzies approaching Chrystia Freeland and her assistant. Again, lots of people question why wasn't there security with Chrystia Freeland if she's the deputy prime minister when she's leaving these events? Why is she not in tow with her personal security? If you look at the United States, anytime Kamala Harris, I think, is it Kamala or Kamala? People pronounce it different ways, but when you look at her walking around, she's constantly got Secret Service around her, with her at all times. They don't stand back, 300 yards away from where she is at all times, unless, of course, it's like a press conference or something. But even still, during press conferences, I can assure you that to the sides of the cameras, there is plenty of security to make sure that those people are kept safe. Now, many people have said this was a setup. I agree. Again, of course, once David Menzies comes in contact with security and they say, nope, stop, that's assault. You touched my arm, that's assault. This is a dirty tactic used by police. Again, smiling, Chrystia Freeland grinning and smiling as she walks away. And David Menzies being told he's under arrest for assault. Now, again, this got tons of coverage and went viral. But what's come out today, and what's even better with today, is that the lawsuit facing these Rcmp is in full swing. And we're going to get into that in 10 seconds after this short shout out to this video sponsor, Funnable Friends. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Funnable Friends. After a long day of looking at the world and what goes on around it, especially with this guy,
you'll forgive me if I don't think about monetary policy. You'll understand that I think about families.
I definitely need a calming distraction. And that's why I'm here today to talk to you about a new YouTube channel called Funnable Friends. This channel happens to be just what the doctor ordered to help take your stress away. We're talking clumsy puppies, hilarious cat fails, and hours of clean, family-appropriate entertainment. What is more is they are a grassroots channel volunteering and promoting local Alberta charities, including the fostering of a cute puppy through Fostering Hope in Red Deer, Alberta. There's no cost to view the content, with a portion of earnings from the channel going to assist in the well-being of future animals in need. So if you feel the need to forget about the latest political drama in your life for a while, subscribe to Funnable Friends. The stories of those lives of animals getting turned around is sure to brighten your day, and out of our lives and the chaos that continues in it, we could sure all afford a few minutes out of our lives to be a little more funnable. Link is down below in the description. Just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, based off of that ad, if you enjoy animal fails, dog fails, cat fails, if you like having a laugh, if you want to detox, Funnable Friends again is going to be using the monetization from their YouTube channel to help with the fostering of these animals. They've already in fact found homes for some animals. They mostly take in reserve rescue animals and give them new hope, new lives. And of course, there's a cost to doing that. Now, the channel, of course, does not petition to take money from people. They don't want people's cash or donations. They simply ask that you watch the content because YouTube pays them for everybody who comes in to check out their videos, to check out their content. So again, if that's your thing, go help them out. Subscribe to the channel. Check out their content. It helps animals in need getting new homes, and I couldn't support them more. I think what they do is fantastic. So ladies and gentlemen, when you head over and subscribe, make sure to let them know that Unacceptable Fringe sent you. And with that, let's get on with the details of what's happening with David Menzies. So here we go. David Menzies sues Chrystia Freeland's Bodyguards. The assault on David was part of a sustained violation of our civil rights as journalists. We've got mountains of evidence to prove it, and today is the day we are fighting back. Enough is enough. Today we sued Chrystia Freeland's Rcmp bodyguards for roughing up our reporter, David Menzies, and we've retained 2 of Canada's top lawyers to do so. You can read the lawsuit for yourself right here. Take a look at photographs 41 to 51. They'll make you furious. And of course, there is a link here. I will have that link in the description below this video if you want to go and check that out. The lawsuit is only 18 pages long and it's written in plain English, so it's easy read. Please take a look at it. I want you to see our case against the government. So again, I would encourage everybody, click that link for yourself. I would show it on the video, but there's a lot to go over. And again, I want people to take the time to really ingest what it has to say, because I don't have the time in this video, obviously, to go over 18 pages of documents. But again, as Ezra says in this post, or whoever wrote this post on Rebel's behalf, I'm assuming it's Ezra Levant, 18 pages of plain English documentation that's easy to read. Excuse me. We've assembled a dream team of some of Canada's best lawyers. The lead lawyer is Lawrence Greenspoon, a senior criminal lawyer from Ottawa. You probably know him best as Tamara Leach's lawyer, brilliantly defending her against the government's prosecution for her role in the trucker convoy. And with him is Sarah Miller, a meticulous lawyer from Calgary. Now, if you're not familiar with Sarah Miller, if you don't watch Rebel News regularly, during lockdowns, not only was she defending Art Pulowski, but Adam Sos, Rebel News reporter, was often covering cases that Sarah Miller was defending in terms of people's ability to have freedom of speech during lockdowns, when mayors like Naheed Nenshi silenced people from protesting in downtown Calgary, was issuing tickets to people for being out in public, people for being too close together, people for having others in their homes, and violations of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. I believe, and again, don't quote me, it's speculation, I believe there were some tickets being defended as well for people refusing to use Arrive Scam. I could be wrong on that, so again, please don't quote me, but Sarah Miller having an amazing track record in Calgary, and a fantastic lawyer from what I understand. And again, when we get into Lawrence Greenspoon, you look at everything he's done just on behalf of Tamara Leach so far. As Tamara entered her trial in August. Now, I spoke with Tamara before heading to that trial, and the original timetable for that trial was that it was going to end in the first week of October. So this trial that started in August was supposed to go till the beginning of October, roughly 6 weeks. It was going to give the prosecution their time to state their case and try to put any kind of blame on Tamara, past the fact that she was falsely arrested and thrown in solitary confinement for multiple days on trumped up mischief charges. Now, those mischief charges and her time in jail are time served as far as I'm concerned, because the judges in other cases have even stated that her amount of time in jail is far beyond that which somebody charged with a simple crime of mischief would take. However, you've seen the government drag this case out time and time again. If we look at its original extension to November, then to December, and now Tamara's headed back March 13th into court in Ottawa to continue this battle with Chris Barber to try and get an answer on what's happening with these charges from the government and her treatment for her role in the Freedom Convoy. Now, of course, I will be covering that as that trial progresses. But again, Lawrence Greenspoon showing that he's very qualified and that he clearly knows what he's doing, because the prosecution has nothing on Tamara, and they haven't had anything from day one. And of course, every day that Tamara goes into court, things are just looking better and better all the time for her charges to be essentially released or dropped. We've obviously seen Lawrence get Tamara reinstated online, and that's been fantastic. So again, I have faith between these two lawyers that this is going to be a very well-assembled team to fight the government's RCMP officers. And again, RCMP are a government entity, so don't forget they've got really good legal teams behind them. But of course, the costs to go to court are up there, and we're going to get into that. I know these two lawyers well, and there is no better legal team in the country. David and I recently sat down with Lawrence to go through the lawsuit together. We made a video about it. It's about a half hour long. But if you're passionate about freedom and standing up to bullies in the government, I think you'll want to watch every minute of it, maybe even twice. And again, there's no link to that video in this description, but again, I'm sure you can find it on Rebel News. As you can see, this isn't just about suing Freeland's bodyguards for assault or false arrest. That's in there, of course. It's also about showing the ongoing pattern of abuse that the government directs at Rebel News, including a previous assault on David, attacking our reporter Alexa Lavoie with batons and a riot gun. Again, that took place during the enactment of the Emergencies Act, during the Freedom Convoy, where she was shot with tear gas and smacked with a baton. And a pattern of punishing us simply because we criticized Justin Trudeau. Now, we saw that in full effect during the last federal election, when Rebel News attempted to have a voice in the debates that were going on. Of course, Justin Trudeau outright banning Rebel News and only allowing his paid prostitutes into question leaders during the debate or get anything. Of course, Justin Trudeau hates free speech. He hates people talking about him in a negative light. So, of course, Ezra Levant petitioning to allow Rebel News into the debates and winning that case ultimately just in time for Alexa Lavoie to be the designated reporter to go in and ask Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh and Aaron O'Toole any questions that Rebel might have as to why people who don't follow the mainstream media should vote for either of them in that election. Now, speaking of censorship, what we've seen with Justin Trudeau, and again, why Ezra is doing this, in the face of censorship, when we talk about Bill C-63, when we talk about the Online Censorship Act, I've noticed, especially on this channel over the last 2 weeks, an overwhelming amount of Justin Trudeau sympathizers, liberal bots, sitting in the comments section, downvoting videos. I have seen YouTube actually chopping off view numbers. Only little bits here and there, but essentially videos that do really well or start to do well, they get chopped off at the knees within about the first hour. As YouTube, again, I don't know if this is liberal bots, if this is the Canadian rules now, or if this is YouTube in general just trying to silence anybody criticizing old Captain Socks. But if you could like, comment, share, subscribe, turn on your bell for notifications. People have been telling me their comments have been deleted, that people are being unsubscribed by the day. So always make sure that those things are happening. Again, liking, commenting, subscribing, turning on your bell for notifications. According to YouTube, only 73% of my viewing audience is not subscribed to the channel. So make sure you throw up your subscription and make sure you're always getting these videos delivered to you at all times, or at least as much as possible, because the last thing we want to do is be censored. But all of that stuff gets us out in the algorithm and tells other people, hey, people are liking this video, people are commenting on it, it must be good. And YouTube's algorithm, of course, props it up and gets it out there. As we continue, this is our allegation. The assault on David was part of a sustained violation of our civil rights as journalists. I agree. And we've got mountains of evidence to prove it. I think Freeland's bodyguards just expect us to walk away after they smashed David against the wall, handcuffed him, humiliated him, and drove away in a police car. They must have realized that they were in trouble because they dumped David off in some nearby parking lot and told him they weren't going to proceed with charges against him. Now, it's important, again, we talk about this because when I first covered this, I had a thin line at where I said this is arrest, then I said it's detainment. And again, in the video, they say you're under arrest for assault. Now, what they did was illegally detained him. And the reason I'm going to go with that statement at this point is because they, of course, dropped him off in a nearby parking lot and didn't even attempt to pursue charges. This was just a way to get him out of the way and shut down Rebel's ability to report. Again, him being dropped off in a nearby parking lot, this is news to me. This is the first time I'm hearing this. Again, if you guys have heard it elsewhere, but this is the first time in this statement I have heard this claim. But of course, as we're saying, we're not done with them. If you can help us, please do. There's no way this lawsuit will cost us less than $100,000. Again, going to court, especially against the government, is expensive. The government will throw their unlimited resources against us. I bet they hire no fewer than 4 lawyers at taxpayers' expense. Can't wait for that bill to try and stop us from getting justice. But you know what? We've had enough. For more than 8 years, Trudeau's thugs have pushed, shoved, punched, handcuffed, arrested, and abused us. Again, I agree. And then walked away as if it's normal in Canada. And certainly the mainstream media doesn't care. I care, both as David's friend and as a Canadian. Please help us pay for the legal dream team to send the message to Trudeau and his thugs in Canada that this is Canada, not his favorite country of communist China. We have rights here, and the police aren't allowed to simply beat up journalists in the street. So, again, I can sympathize and agree with this statement that while the government will probably drain coffers to pay for lawyers in this lawsuit, I'm happy to see that David Menzies is moving forward with this because, again, when you look at the way that Justin Trudeau behaves, when you look at the way Jagmeet Singh behaves propping up Justin Trudeau and his illegal behavior, I think anybody pursuing to push and have some form of justice is another attempt to simply try to put this government in its place in some fashion. Now, again, I don't agree with the money cost. I don't agree with what it's going to do to taxpayers in order for these lawyers to constantly be in court on a financial front. However, the more people file these lawsuits, the more people push, the more times that these representatives are in courtrooms, the more fed up judges I think are going to start to get when they start saying, look, there's only so much we can do here for you guys. Eventually we have to rule in favor of the complainant. Now, it's a very corrupt system, but again, one could speculate at some point the cup will runneth over, so to speak. We've chosen the best lawyers because we absolutely need to win this one. Today is the day we fight back against Trudeau's bullies. If you agree with the lawsuit, please help me level the playing field by chipping in a donation right here on this page. Note, I'm almost done my new book, and it's all about Trudeau. If you chip in $250 or more to help me cover David's legal fees, I'll hand sign a copy of the book when it's done next month and personally ship it to you. That's a win-win. You get a collector's edition of the new book, and David gets the legal help he needs. Please join the fight today. And of course, it's at standwithdavid.com. Now, again, I'm not going to promote that link in the description down below, but you guys have seen it. And again, it's only because it's a third party, and I don't promote those kind of fundraisers on this channel because I don't know what people do with all the funds should those funds exceed their necessary limits. Again, when I talk about channels like Fundable Friends, those are sponsored videos, and I know where that money is going. I've seen their paper trails. Anytime somebody online is fundraising, I'm happy to mention those things, but again, I don't promote or post the links because I don't feel it's justified on this channel to try and push people on my behalf to spend money somewhere that whether or not they want to is up to them. So again, standwithdavid.com if you feel so inclined to go there. But again, I will have a link below to the 18-page document, so I urge you guys to go and read that. Again, I plead with this audience, please, 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 as you're leaving your comments and telling me what you think down below, like the video, share it out. Subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on your bell for notifications. YouTube is completely throttling this channel. I am definitely in the shadow ban. Again, if you go through the video histories of this channel, you'll see that views were way up and now all of a sudden they've been chopped down. So every little bit helps, folks. Please pitch in and give us a hand. It costs you virtually nothing. But let me know your comments down below. If you're new to the channel, I hope this video has earned your subscription as well. Make sure you turn on your bell for notifications and join us. Usually we have our live streams here on the channel on Fridays. However, this week I'm out of town, so I will be doing a makeup stream this Sunday, March 10th at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Central here on the channel, where we'll go over everything that happened this week, everything coming up in the week ahead, and then live streams will resume every Friday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time after that. I hope you guys enjoyed this very lengthy video and have yourselves a great rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next one.